What's up guys, Shubhan here, welcome back to another video. So, it has only taken me 2 hours to set up this single video because I'm having some audio issues. I did have a few comments before talking about it, but unfortunately I've lost my little pro lavalier mic, which I love dearly. You may have seen it in my previous videos, but I'm trying to use a temporary and I've got the audio levels good, so you shouldn't hear that much of a background noise, but still. Today, now I have more energy as my day goes on. I'm here to talk about 5 of the best life-changing things that have happened to me after completing my 2-week water fast, because what I realized in my first video is that I didn't really talk that much about the actual benefits themselves because I was too busy just talking. Number 1 is the most relatable one: better sleep. Now it takes me, I would say, about 15 minutes to get to sleep. That is to say, I will lie down, and providing I haven't drunk too much water before I go to bed, I have a habit of having too much soup and then having to get up and pee, I will literally be out like a light in like 15 minutes, and I will not wake up throughout the night unless I need to pee again if I drunk too much water, which I have a weird habit of having an absolute British-like obsession with tea. Just before I go to bed, it's like, oh, I've got to have chamomile, I've got to have all this other stuff, and I end up having to get up like 3 hours later. But still, not having to, you know, go to bed and having to like grind my teeth for ages, which is what I used to do. I used to have really bad issues with teeth grinding. And it would take me about an hour to get to bed. Gone. Like now, it takes me about 15 minutes after I go to bed to go to sleep. And I cannot tell you just how refreshing it is to actually have a full night's worth of sleep and not have to, you know, just sleep deprivation, really. Like, sleep deprivation really did screw me over. And it was something that I kept on neglecting. And just as a pro tip, don't neglect your sleep. It affects everything. I mean, people say this again and again and again, but sleep is up there with exercise. That you can do all these different protocols. You can do all this amazing stuff. But if you're not getting the right kind of sleep, just forget it. So, the next potentially life-changing thing that I've noticed is constantly auto-focusing. Like, as I talk. So, the next potentially life-changing thing that I found is my lack of appetite. Now, when I eat, I feel full. Most of the time, people don't actually eat to be satiated. Most of the time, whenever people eat, they literally will keep eating until either there is nothing else around them, or they've run out of money to buy stuff, or until they think that they're full, which usually means that they've stuffed their faces. Now when I eat a fraction of what I need. And when I say a fraction, I mean like half an avocado and some salt. And I know people are probably looking at me and thinking, holy crap, he's lost a lot of weight, which is, my weight is slowly being put back on again. But I tell you, I can eat only a fraction of what I could eat before. And you know what? I don't want to eat anymore. I eat to a certain point, and once my stomach is satiated, it's full. Whereas before, I would eat a full course meal, then about 30 minutes later, I'd be down picking from the fridge, or I'd be going out and I'd be buying a snack. And let's face it, most people, this is a larger topic, most people don't know what it's like to be full. This pseudo feeling of feeling full, whereby you only stop eating because, oh, I'm stuffed. Like, I'm stuffed. It's like, I have eaten so much that my stomach has expanded so many times that my brain is literally kicking in and saying stop because enough is enough. I find that the reason for this is because we are laden down with a lot of toxins, and more specifically, we are laden down with a lot of parasites. It is an absolute epidemic in our culture. And what these parasites do is they stop us from feeling full. And nowhere is it ever clearer than when you actually clean out your system and you're no longer constantly craving food. It is not natural to have 3-course meals every single day, believe it or not. It is not natural to have 3-course meals and be snacking in between. It is not natural to have, you know, go to a restaurant and then not feeling full until you've had dessert. It is not natural. And so one of the main life-changing things for me is that now that I actually have control over what I eat, and that moral and just that willpower battle is no longer there. I have a lot more mental resources to be able to actually dedicate my energy and my time to things that are more important, instead of thinking about food all the time, instead of thinking about when's my next meal going to come from. And not just loss of appetite, but control over my appetite. Because after I've had breakfast, I'm done for a good 3-4 hours. I don't want to eat, I don't want to think about it. Again, you have a lot more mental resources to actually use towards that, and just not feeling crap after I eat. I find that if you're someone who, after you eat, you have to take a nap, that's because your digestive system is so compromised that your body is dumping tons and tons of blood, diverting tons and tons of blood to your digestive system. which is why afterwards you need to rest straight away. So the next one is actually quite funny because it actually links into the whole story of me sort of getting back into eating. Is like my taste palette has massively expanded. And when I say massively expanded, I have not had anything sweet in a long time. And it's not just about the craving for it. Savory and bitter foods and even things like cabbages are so flavorful now. Like the soups that I've been having, I've literally just been getting broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, adding some nutritional yeast, and just whatever vegetables I can find, just walking down the vegetable aisle, boiling it a bit, blending it, and I tell you, it has such a massive explosion of flavor. I have no need to add any sugar. And I was warned about this by a very, very good YouTuber by the name of Dr. Robert Kassar. I suggest checking out his channel. And he was basically talking about how when you do these fasts and when you cleanse out your body and when you get out all these organisms that crave sugar from your system, you don't want sugar. Not only that, but when you try and eat the old foods that you had before, it's almost impossible. It's so sweet, it's disgusting. And also, because I've been doing a lot of cooking, I've made some muffins, I made some quinoa bread. To me, it's delicious. And I've offered some soup to other people. And to me, it's delicious. But to other people, what's the first thing that they say? This is bitter. It's too bitter. Where's the sugar? Oh, add some fruits to it. Add some sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar. People's palates have been hijacked by sugar. And when you get your sense of taste back, literally, I've never been more satisfied with just going and getting a cabbage, you know, boiling it and blending it and just having it on its own. Literally, nothing else. It is so satisfying. I never thought that I'd have that. I've saved so much on my food bill. I've saved so much on my future health because I'm not constantly thinking about sugar all the time. And my ability to cook in the future has massively expanded. I like the flavors. There are so many more flavors for me to play with. It's really, really exciting. I'm getting lightheaded. And I am excited for all the different future flavors that I can try. Like even adding just a bit of salt and just a bit of pepper, totally change it. It is right back to where I am right back. And even adding just that little bit of salt and pepper. Oh my god, I'm actually getting lightheaded. Quite interestingly, I overheard a little interesting factoid, is that when a lot of these Western people, they brought a lot of the Western foods to Asia, what they found is that they couldn't take a lot of the foods because they were so full of sugar that all these Asians were like, oh, it was actually disgusting to them. And interestingly, vice versa. This is why we find a lot of the medicines from Asia. It's really, really bitter. It's because they're just so not used to sugar, and sugar is, let's face it, unnatural in the levels that we're consuming it. That when we actually stop consuming it, all of a sudden there's all these different foods to try, and I honestly cannot wait to try them all. And just speeding through the last two, the last one that I found that is absolutely life-changing is going to be more for other people because it wasn't actually going to be for something that I wanted to do. That is weight loss. I have never lost so much weight than I have in the last 2 weeks. And in fact, people are saying that I've lost too much weight, and I can actually agree with that. I have never looked so thin in my life, and considering the fact that I actually was doing a juice fast for about 2 weeks afterwards, I was still maintaining a regular level of weight. The moment I water fasted, after about 2 weeks, it literally melted right off me so quickly. In fact, there are some videos that I tried to film when I was doing my water fast, and I had to stop because it was just too much. Just looking at myself, oh my god, it was like a bag of bones. And I was actually quite interestingly trying to do some cooking, and I was trying to show people how to do some make some sauerkraut juice. I was looking in the video and I was like, who the hell put a jumper on the Grim Reaper and asked him to cook? Like, it was kind of astounding. So It was sort of one of those things where it's like I just had to stop recording. It was actually so cringeworthy and kind of disgusting to look at because I wanted to feed myself. Anyway, weight loss, one of the greatest things. Again, life changing, not for me as much as it is going to be for a lot of people. So the last one is going to be one that's actually quite dear to me, and it is just a sense of well-being that I have really been looking for such a long period of time, and it comes in waves. It comes in waves, and when it hits me, it's like it feels like just a sense of sometimes close to euphoria. That when you have a clean system, and this is why I really encourage everyone to get your health together. When you have a clean system, the sense of well-being that you have cannot honestly be underestimated. Feeling good in yourself and for no reason at all. Not for, because you doing this, that, and the other. Just because you have a clean system is something that everyone deserves. It is something that we have lost in the West because we're too stressed, we are too toxically loaded, we are too unhealthy, and it is God's gift to us that we feel good. Something as simple as that. We're used to using coffee, cigarettes, anything. We're used to using those things. We don't need to. The body is designed to feel good all the time, and it doesn't need a reason for it. Just clean it out. Take care of your temple, one bit at a time. You don't have to be doing a water fast. You don't have to be doing a juice fast. You can just be leading a healthy diet. You can just be not putting crap in your system. But I cannot tell you, every single day, I have to stay on course, obviously, because I'm still getting my health back, but just sitting down and feeling how I feel, honestly, it feels like I'm on a low dose of I don't say this to stick it to people because I know how in pain people are. I know how sick and tired people are. I was like that. And coming this far and comparing how I felt before and to how I have now, I say this not to rub it in, I say it hopefully to give hope to people. Because there's a way out. And I wish I could see this video from when I was a lot younger. And just being like, look man, there's a way out. You don't have to feel like crap all the time. You don't have to feel depressed and suicidal. Because you can feel amazing. That's how you were born to be. And there's a way out. Anyway, on that somber note, I will say goodbye before I start tearing up on screen. Freeman out, and peace. Thanks for watching guys, I've been Freeman. If you like what you see, I have a main channel where I talk about all things non-health and health. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the DMs, as well as an email that's currently in the description. If you want to make a request for a video, if you just want to support me, Patreon and PayPal links will be in the description. Any amount helps. Regardless, I'll still be here, still be posting. Freeman out, and peace.